Hey guys, if you have an online business, one thing that you're going to probably run into is difficulty with focus, difficulty staying on track because there's so many things that you can do in the online space. And then two, a lot of us are working from home. So for us to be focused, it requires more of our real energy to stay focused. So in this video, I'm going to walk through my process that I use, and I'm going to break this down to 5 steps on how I stay focused. And if someone comes to me and says, dude, Matt, I've got my online offer, but I am not getting anything done, or my growth is inconsistent. The first thing that we do is we have to look at your life. We have to look at the consistency of what you're doing inside your personal life, because that's going to bleed over into business. And a good CEO, a good business owner, even a good sales rep, or whatever it may be, that the ability for that person to stay on track, to stay consistent and be organized is going to directly affect the end result they're trying to achieve. Okay, so let's go ahead and walk through this. Before I do, if you guys are new to the channel, my name is Dr. Matt. I'm a physical therapist that helps clinicians and coaches build online businesses. If you could give me a subscribe, that would be awesome. That allows me to impact more people and just share these nuggets. Cool? All right, so these are the 5 steps that I use when someone comes to me and says, man, I'm struggling with focus. The first thing that I do, and I will leave this as a link in the description below so you have access to it, is I have that person write out a blocked schedule. Okay, so what I often do is I have them first start, this is just an empty block one, right? I have them first come in here and be like, hey, I want you to put your normal schedule in here. Like right now, if we were to look at last week or the last month, 2 months, can you put in here on an average week of what that week looks like, right? So they come in here, they block it off, they fill it out, and here's an example of what that may look like. This is a pretty one. This is kind of more of like an ideal one. This is what I actually recommend for a lot of the coaches that I work with to do if they have online businesses. But I have them first just write out, yeah, here's my schedule. Okay, cool. And now based on the goals that you're trying to achieve in your business or in your personal life, how does this schedule align with that? If you need to do more lead generation, if you need to have more sales calls, do you even have time in your day to take those calls, to do lead generation, to create content? And if it's not in there, then we have to create space. We have to eliminate stuff. Okay? So the stuff over here on the far right, these are just some suggestions that I use with my coaching clients. And it's going to be, again, different based off the different businesses that you're in. But rules of thumb when it comes to actually setting this thing up is the first thing that I do when I do create my current block schedule. Again, I'm setting up one of what is today, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate today's, and this will be, let's just put ideal block schedule. I'll eliminate this. And in this ideal block schedule, I'm going to actually go ahead and block these things off in a way that I know that I can get the task done that I'm trying to get done. That's going to help me achieve the goal that I want to achieve, whether that's life or in business, right? So we have a current block schedule. Then we have an ideal block schedule. And we start to look and be like, okay, cool. This is what I want my ideal week to look like. How can I start eliminating things? So if I come back to this sheet, is the only way for us to add more stuff into our schedule is we have to eliminate. We have to eliminate things that no longer serve us or serve our goals, and we have to add space. And to do that, let's come back over here. We have to look at the tasks that we're doing and ask ourselves, is this something that's actually supportive for me and my business? If it is, cool. Can this be automated with technology? Can this be outsourced so that I can take on more projects? And the reason that we want to do all that, especially the outsourcing, is that we want to create a business that works without us. So once we get to a certain point, we learn something, we hand it off. We learn something, we hand it off. And that's how we continue to build a business, right? And eventually I'm going to learn so much that I can, if I choose and I want to, I could teach someone how to be the CEO and manage everyone else. And then I could just be, an owner. It depends on your goals. Maybe that doesn't serve you, but ideally we can build a business where we have people who are doing lead gen for us. We have people who are doing sales for us, but we have to master that skill first. So as we continue to build our business, we need to create space by getting rid of things. That's a good sign if we're getting rid of things, because that's showing that we're having growth. So again, we start off with a blocked calendar of, hey, this is everything of where I'm at. This is the ideal. I'm just going to use this one. This is my ideal calendar. What can I eliminate from my block schedule now? And how can I get more stuff off of my plate? And if there isn't a direct, this is how I get stuff off my plate, how can we create a plan to where, this ideal schedule, right, which would be this one, we're just going to call this one the ideal, I can get here in 90 days, right? So what does that look like? How do I start to eliminate and pull back on things that don't serve me? But you're going to be surprised, like once you actually put these things down and get really clear on, man, how much time do I actually have? And you're going to be like, wow, I don't have time to start a business. Oh, I don't have time to do more sales and lead gen or get more clients because I'm busy doing things that don't serve me. Okay. So kind of to recap, we'll start off by, again, writing out your exact schedule. Then we're going to duplicate that and start eliminating things and make your perfect schedule. Okay. And once we do that, we'll kind of create a plan of how do we get to this. Okay. And after we have done that, all right, we got really clear. This is the schedule that's going to allow me to do this thing, right? To achieve my goal. Then I want you to do is create a list of tasks. And there are two folds to this. We want to create a list of daily tasks, and we want to create a list of weekly tasks. And if you're doing weekly tasks, I like to assign them to a day. So for instance, I'm going to show you the checklist that I give a lot of my coaching clients who are, either online coaches or clinicians that have online offers. And you'll see in here that we have six things that we do every day. And this is kind of the baseline. Some people have more. Some people may have less, but ideally, this is what we do every day, especially if this is kind of more organic. So every day, these are the 6 things they're going to do. They're going to review their sales CRM, see who's in the pipeline, see who they can talk to, see someone that they re-engage, somebody who they may have extended an offer to and said no or aren't ready yet. We're always going to look at that because those are active leads or people we've talked to, right? So that's step 1. Then I'm going to update my sales tracking sheet. So this is essentially a way for us to keep track of how many sales calls did I have yesterday. I'll fill in today, like the sales calls I had yesterday, the show up rates, all of that stuff. Super important. Posting on social media. Did I do it today? Did I start 10 to 20 new DM conversations or just networking opportunities with ideal clients? Because if I can talk to 10 or 20 a day, maybe we can book, which is kind of the goal here is, can I book 1 call a day? If I can book 1 conversation that's around sales a day, that's 5 a week. That should be at least 2 to 3 clients a week if you're doing this right, okay? And that's on the low end. This is like very easy to do. And then continue conversations for the last day. If you do all these things every single day, you're going to get more clients, okay? So these are kind of the list of things that we're going to be putting on our checklist. You might have other things you might want to put on here, like, take the dog out. You might have go to the gym. Like, you can kind of create it your own. These are just the business ones that I use, okay? And then weekly, fill out a scorecard. So just keeping track of all of all the things we did last week, leads, sales calls, new clients, stuff like that. And I put that on Monday for me, but you could have it on a different day. What else do I do weekly? Well, I've got to batch record content. I'm going to pick one day like I'm doing right now. It's a Thursday. It's in the afternoon. I've blocked off 3 hours, and I'm just going to create a YouTube video. For me, I'm going to create a YouTube video, maybe 2 videos. And then I'm also going to create a bunch of social media content. Cool. Then once a week on a weekend day, typically Sunday, I'm going to write all the posts. Then I'm going to make sure twice a week I'm posting testimonials and social proof onto my social media so that people can build that know, like, and trust. And then once a week, I'm going to review this block schedule that I just created to see, am I on track with what it is that my goals are? Okay. And I want to just be clear, these are, you've got 6 daily ones, and then these are 5 weekly ones. And yours are going to be different based off your business and the projects you're working on, but less is more. You don't need to, if you're starting the day and you've got 20 plus tasks in your business, It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for you to stay focused because you've got too many things that are going on that's going to prevent you from taking action. So I'm going to challenge you. What can you already eliminate? If you've got more than 20 things, you're not going to get much done. You're kind of just going to be putting fires out all day, as opposed to like, what are the 5 things that I need to do as a CEO? What are the 5 things I need to do as a sales rep? What are the 5 things I need to do as this? And just be really good at doing things, because this is where the laser focus comes. I'm not taking a laser and shining it everywhere. It's like I want it to be at a one specific target, so I'm going to reduce. And I talked about that already on step number 2. But honestly, that goes everywhere. The best system is no system at all, because it doesn't need to exist. So elimination is the best thing that we can do. As we create our block schedule, beautiful. What can we eliminate from there? What can we outsource? As we create our list of to-dos that are daily and weekly tasks, what can be gotten rid of? And let's get rid of it, okay? Because the less we can do, the better quality that we can do, and also the more time that we have to either work on other projects, spend time with family, because ultimately that's the goal. We want the business to work for us, okay? All right, so once we've done those 2 things, we've got our block calendar, we've got our current one, we've got our ideal one, and then we have a good idea of, 5, let's just say 5 or so tasks, 5 to 10 tasks that we're going to do every single day. And maybe some of those we just do once a week on the weekly tasks. We move to the next step. Okay, so I come back over here. And for me, I actually block off time in my Google Calendar to allow me to start having this ideal calendar. Okay, so when I come back to my block calendar, let's just imagine that this is the one that I've created. This is my ideal one. And I'm like, all right, so now how can I start to implement this, right? We know what our current one is looking retroactively. We know what our ideal one is. What can I actually do when I open my Google Calendar to go ahead and start plugging and playing these things into the day-to-day things that I need to do? And that's what we're going to do, right? So I want you to block off time, right? So you'll see, for me, I keep my mornings open, okay? That's the time that I do a lot of creative work. And you can see this is very open. Like, there's not a lot of stuff here. My creative flow is where I'm building I'm creating things. I'm creating things for my clients. I'm coaching my clients, stuff like that. I do have some standing meetings in here. I've got my weekly check-ins, where that's one of the things that I've got on my weekly tasks. And, I just get really clear on, what are the things that I need to do, and I will put them in here, right? So I block off time, and even in here for my social media stuff, right? So I've got YouTube Shorts, and this is that actually 4-hour period that I have blocked off. But I try to keep more space in here, and I do eliminate things as much as possible. So when you look at this, you might have this block template might be really full. And then when you come here in your Google Calendar, it might be more open, right? But knowing that maybe you block off, the entire 6:30 onwards, you don't need to put dinner. You could just be like off. You can just put off. You can put whatever it is you need. But the whole goal of this is we want to get your ideal calendar that you've put here into your Google Calendar, while giving you enough space to commute, to travel, to do the things you want to do. So, I do this typically like weekly. So my this week is a little bit busier. But I on Sundays, one of my tasks is actually to come in here and look at my my week ahead and make sure I've scheduled time for myself. Sure I've scheduled time to work out, do these things. So that's what you'll do. You're going to write your ideal one in here. You're going to open up your Google Calendar and look at the next week or 2 ahead. And what can you start to put in to your Google Calendar? Because this is where you're going to have, like, if someone books a call with you, it's going to go to your Google Calendar, right? So all of that is going to be here. And then the next thing that we're going to do is, once we've done that in our Google Calendar, we're going to add these tasks that we did here into our tasks manager. This is a game changer. I wish I could share this with you more of how much of a game changer this is, but I've got both of those, right? My actual blocked off time periods And on the far right, I've got my tasks. I'm late on my flea and tick medicine for Lily. It's coming in. I bought it, but it's not here yet. Right? I have 2 tabs here, and you can play with these and use this if you like, or you can just use one. But I've got, my personal business, and then these are just kind of like ideas. So sometimes I'll put my like ideas for content and stuff in there. And but I'll do business and I'll do personal. And inside here, I put my tasks for the day and my tasks for the week. And I will just add them. Right now, I've finished all of my tasks for business, except for this one, review my sales CRM. I've already done all those today. I try to get a lot of these tasks done actually in the creative flow so that the rest of the day I've got more space. But let's say, you want to add to your business thing, post a story on social media. Okay, then I can push date and time. I can push repeat, and I can have this be, I can have this every day. I can have this every Monday, Tuesday, or every Monday, Thursday. I can have it just Monday. I can essentially put it on any of these things. And once I push OK, it's going to pop up here today. And I can check this off, and then it's going to appear the next scheduled day, which is tomorrow. Right? So it allows me, when I open up my computer every day, this is the thing. This is where all my stuff is. I utilize the Google Calendar and the task management system together for my day-to-day stuff. Oftentimes, I may block off, 8 to 11 creative flow, and then in my business tasks or whatever it may be, I may have all of the things that I want to actually do in that blocked off time. I've just found for me personally, if I block off more time than I need, I can get through more things as opposed to having it 15-minute blocked off thing of this I'm going to do this time and then this to this and this and this. I like to keep it a little bit more broad and use more of my task features to give me some flexibility in there. So this is how I stay organized, and this is one of the ways that I stay organized. Another way that I didn't really mention in here, just staying laser focused, is if I'm not working on any of these tabs, to eliminate them. Right now I am working on all of them, so they're open. But I when someone screen shares with me and I see like 20 tabs open, I'm like, dude, how are you staying focused right now? Because you still have to use the attention and energy to say no to those things. Right? So yeah, this is kind of the process I use. If this is helpful, awesome. I will be posting this link here in the description below. And I want to thank you guys for watching this. And if you find this valuable, share this, like this, and give me a subscribe. Peace, guys.